brought them to you. Did she?
I had set them back on the contest scheduler. I was going to leave them there, so I believe she did.
Okay, good. We're gonna keep them down here, and I'll set them out every court day, like we do everybody else's. So.
Okay, thank you.
One buyer we run a contract, judgment, sprinkles, then sell the car.
It ain't even locked.
It's going off in my ear. That burger look good.
Was it bad? Hey, Chief. How are you doing, man? Good to see you, man. I prefer this, actually, to be honest with you. I won't be yelled and screamed at, so that's good. I like it. Well, I noticed it didn't look like it extended anything to the walls. I looked at his window. That's sad. We worked well. That was one of my favorite shows. Went to tear out the whole master bedroom.
You got enough shenanigans going on.
I could screw down.
Will, how we looking? You ready? Okay, one more minute. We're going to have the prayer led by Councilman Roy, followed by the pledge by Councilman Pendergrass.
Ready. Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you tonight thanking you for the many blessings that you've given us. Dear Lord, we just thank you for giving us the opportunity to serve the citizens of Minden. Dear Lord, we just ask that everything that we do in this meeting will be done in accordance to your will and your way. And once again, we just thank you for your Son, Jesus, and for what he did for us. We ask all this in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to call the June 1st Minden City Council meeting to order, and I would also like to welcome all of you that are here tonight. It's good to see y'all. Happy summertime. If you haven't noticed, it's warming up outside. So, are there any additions to tonight's agenda?
Mayor, I move to add item number 19, a cooperative endeavor agreement between the City of Minden and Friends of Minden Main Street.
I have a motion and from Councilman Pendergrass and a second from Councilman Roy. Any questions or discussions on this? All right. All in favor of adding it, let's vote by lifting hands and saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposition, no? And there's none. It was passed unanimously, and it'll be added as agenda number 19. First, we have item number 1. Are there any, before we start, are there any public comments pertaining to any item that's on our agenda tonight? Any comments pertaining to any item on our agenda? Go ahead.
Good afternoon, Mayor. City Councilman Randy Timms. I'm here to talk about the dilapidated homes, particularly on South Street, specifically the one that's next to my house, which is 505 South Street. Now, last month, there was an extension given for 6 months, but we've been dealing with this issue for well over 16, 15 years. I have correspondence right here, May 3rd, 2022, with then Mayor Terry Gardner. I mean, he was rest in peace. And so I contacted him and told him that we've been dealing with this problem for 10 years back. He allowed me, he said, well, gave me instructions to go through my city council member and they would write it up. At that time, the city council representative was Tarika Williams. But she did everything that she could. She wrote it up numerous times, but it kept getting extended. Now we're coming into the summer months. Yesterday, a neighbor saying that across the street we have raccoons and possums, so people are afraid of their trash cans. Now we come into the summer months, dealing with snakes, and God forbid that one of those animals bite one of our beautiful kids. And so we're asking, you know, we have representatives from South Street, so we're asking, can you all just make a motion to remove that 6 month?
So just for clarification purposes, it's my understanding, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but this body voted last month not to give 6 months. It voted to table it until this meeting. So this council has not took any action other than to table that subject until this meeting. So, but your comments have been heard, and we appreciate it.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay. Are there any more comments pertaining to any item on tonight's agenda? Okay, there are none. First, we have item number 1, adopt the minutes of the Minden City Council workshop held on May 4th, 2026.
I move to adopt the minutes of the Minden City Council workshop held on May 4th, 2026.
Have a motion from Councilman Pendergrass and a second from Councilman Miles. Any questions or discussion on this? Okay, there being none, let's vote. And that motion carried. Okay, next we have item number 2, adopt the minutes of the Minden City Council regular session held on May 4th, 2026. What's the wishes of the council on this?
I move to adopt the minutes of the Minden City Council regular session held on May 4th, 2026.
Have a motion from Councilman Pendergrass.
Second.
Second from Councilwoman Mitchell. Any questions or discussion on that? There is none. Let's vote. And the motion passed. Next, we have item number 3, selection of the official city journal. So this is something that we have to do every year traditionally, and up to this point, the Minden Press Herald has been our official city journal. What's the wishes of the council on this?
I move to name the Minden Press Herald as the official journal of the city of Minden of Louisiana.
I have a motion from Councilman Miles and a second from Councilman Roy. Any questions or further discussion on this? There's none. Let's vote. And that passes unanimously. Next, we have item number 4, adopt a resolution authorizing credit card signatory power for certain City of Minden personnel. This would add Russell Poole as Assistant Public Works Director, Russell Sanders as our Water Wastewater Manager, and adds Elizabeth Campbell as Assistant City Clerk. What happens to us a lot, especially in our water departments, those guys do a lot of training, and often we're having to share the city credit card when they go off, and so this will help us a lot. What's the desire of the council on this?
Mayor, I move to adopt a resolution authorizing credit card signatory power for certain City of Minden personnel.
Have a motion from Councilman Roy.
Second.
Second from Councilman Thomas. Any questions or discussion? All right, there is none. Let's vote. And that passes unanimously. Next, we have item number 5, adopt a resolution adopting the City of Minden Sports Complex fee schedule. So if y'all remember a few months ago, we hired a third-party company to come in and help manage our sports tourism efforts. Those guys, in my opinion, are doing an excellent job thus far. They have brought a lot of good potential projects to the table. The one thing they do not have from this council at the moment is a fee structure. And so in order to make a deal, you have to know how much the deal is going to cost. So at this time, we're presenting to the council, if it's your desire, seeking possible approval of that fee schedule. What's the wishes of the council on that?
I move to adopt a resolution adopting the City of Minden Sports Complex fee schedule as presented.
Have a motion from Councilwoman Mitchell.
Second.
Second from Councilman Pendergrass. Any questions or discussion? All right, there is none. Let's vote. And that passed unanimously. Next, we have item number 6. Adopt a resolution authorizing Mayor Cox to accept the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, IIJA, Airport Infrastructure Grant, AIG, project number 3-22-0032-019-2026, titled Construct Hangar from the Federal Aviation Administration for future improvements to the Minden Airport and enter into a grant agreement with the Federal Aviation Administration. So what this is just an annual, basically a reapproval of what we've already approved, that we're actually in the middle of it. What's the desire of the council on this item?
I move to adopt a resolution authorizing Mayor Cox to accept the AIJ project number 322-0032-019-2026, titled Construction Hangar from the Federal Aviation Administration for future improvements to the Minden Airport, and enter into a grant agreement with the Federal Aviation Administration.
I have a motion from Councilman Pendergrass and a second from Councilman Roy. Are there any questions or discussion on that? Okay, there is none. Let's vote. And that passes unanimously. Next, we have item number 7, adopt ordinance number 1169, an ordinance levying tax mills for the year 2026. We do this every year. All we're doing once again, which has been our long-standing thing that we seem to do, is just roll forward on those taxes. What's the wishes of the council on this?
I move to adopt ordinance number 1169, an ordinance levying tax mills for the year 2026.
Have a motion from Councilman Pendergrass and a second from Councilman Roy. Any discussion? There's none. Let's vote. Pretty sure y'all want the tax money. All right, motion passed unanimously. Next, we have item number 8, adopt ordinance number 1170, an ordinance declaring certain municipal-owned immovable property and the structure thereon surplus and no longer needed for the city's municipal purposes. And what this is at the fairgrounds, there is a small, making sure I'm not telling you all wrong, there's a small hamburger hut that is very blighted and in bad shape. And so this would enter that property that the city owns into the surplus process and start that. And Neil's looked this over and suggests this is how we handle it. But it's subject to whatever y'all wish on this.
Mayor, I move to adopt ordinance number 1170, an ordinance declaring certain municipal-owned movable property and the structure thereon surplus and no longer needed for the city municipal purposes.
I have a motion from Councilman Roy,
Second.
second from Councilwoman Mitchell. Any questions or discussion? Okay, there is none. Let's vote. And the motion passes. Next, we have item number 9, authority for Mayor Cox to submit an application for the Louisiana Local Road Safety Program and execute all documents necessary for participation in the program. Tyler and our engineer Wagner has been working on different projects, and they came to us and said there's some available grant money through DOTD. Tyler, correct me if I misspeak. And so Tyler and I agreed to pursue it, and they came back and said that we got it. Now, sometimes it's never really clear how much you got or didn't get, but this is also an agreement between the state, the city, and also the parish is involved. And so some of the roads that are listed in this deal, you'll notice aren't even in the city limits. But I've got clarification from our engineers that this would just be for the benefit of the city, and then they would work with the parish on that portion. But I would like to have authority to move forward with this if it does come through for us. What's the wishes of the council?
I move to authorize Mayor Cox to submit an application for the Louisiana Local Road Safety Program and execute all documents necessary for participation in the program, subject to legal review and verification of the final project documentation.
Have a motion from Councilman Miles and a second from Councilman Pendergrass. Any discussion on this? All right, there's none. Let's vote. Okay, this motion passes unanimously. Next, we have item number 10, authority for Mayor Cox to enter into a maintenance agreement including mowing and litter pickup between the City of Minden and the State of Louisiana Department of Transportation and Development, Office of Engineering. So every year, the state gives the city funds to maintain the right-of-ways on the state highways. That includes mowing and litter. It's traditionally been a fairly modest sum for the amount of work that the city does, but getting anything is better than getting nothing. Over the last several years, they've tried very hard and been very mindful to raise the amount of money that they give the city, and so they've raised it again. But every year I have to sign an agreement, and y'all know I don't like to sign agreements unless y'all give me the authority to do so. So what's the wishes of the council on this?
I move to authorize Mayor Cox to enter into a maintenance agreement including mowing and litter pickup between the City of Minden and the State of Louisiana Department of Transportation and Development, Office of Engineering.
I have a motion from Councilman Thomas.
Second.
Second from Councilwoman Mitchell. Is there any questions or discussion about this? All right, there being none, let's vote. And that passes unanimously. Next, we have item number 11, appointment Minden Main Street Program Downtown Development Commission. We have a recommendation from our Main Street / economic developer, Sarah Overall, for Victoria Washington to be appointed to the Minden Main Street Program. Is Victoria here? Okay, so everybody can see Victoria Washington. Good to see you tonight. Thank you for being willing to serve. What's the wishes of the council on this?
On the recommendation of Main Street Economic Development Director Sarah Overall, I move to approve the appointment of Victoria Washington to the Minden Main Street Program Downtown Development Commission to fill the vacant term as presented.
Okay, I have a motion from Councilman Miles.
Second.
And a second from Councilman Thomas. Any discussion on this?
Thank you.
All right, there being none, let's vote. And that motion passes unanimously. Thank you for being willing to serve. Yes, y'all give her a hand. Next, we have item number 12, personnel, Minden Police Department, new hire, Heather Butcher. And it's been recommended by Chief Jerry McIver that we move to confirm Heather Butcher as a full-time police officer. Heather, you're here. You want to stand up and just make yourself known here. What's the wishes of the council on this?
Upon the recommendation of Police Chief Jerry McIver, I move to confirm Heather Butcher as a full-time police officer in the Minden Police Department, subject to passing all tests.
Have a motion from Councilman Roy.
Second.
Second from Councilwoman Mitchell. Any discussion on this? Okay, there is none. Let's vote.
Internet's just running slow. You're all right.
This is like, okay.
Internet just slow.
Motion carries unanimously. Would y'all welcome our newest Minden police officer, Heather Butcher? Okay, welcome to the team. Next, we have item number 13, condemned property, 505 South Street, District B, the property of Frank Gardner Estate. I will ask if anyone's here on behalf of that property. Would you state your name, please?
My name is Chandra Dozier.
Okay, so this item is before the council. Do you have anything to update the council with tonight?
I definitely do. First of all, I want to stand before you asking for justice for the family, the owner of these properties, since the 1950s. I have the tax records that prove that these properties are valuable, over $70,000. And the taxes were paid in recently, December 2025, like most property owners paid their taxes. And the figures came from the Webster Parish Taxes Assessment Department, that they go out and assess the properties on a yearly basis. So these are the figures, and I have proof, the paperwork on that. The owners of the property has been harassed for over 20 years. But one particular neighbor continues. If there's somebody in the properties, they harass the renters. If somebody's outside of the properties, they don't want to look at the properties. This is wrong, that's wrong, or whatever. Like they are the governor of the whole earth. Constantly issues, constant talking about the family members on Facebook, posting erratic actions and talking. This is what the family has been enduring. As far as the pests that was mentioned, raccoons or whatever around the trash cans, there are no trash cans located on these properties unless, so be it, someone just moved the trash cans over there, because currently nobody is living in those properties. So the raccoons couldn't possibly be coming from trash cans or fields. Now, as far as rats, I've talked to Mayor Cox about that, and snakes. It's like, does anyone have a video stating that these particular properties, they saw those reptiles coming from those properties? And the answer was no. They haven't produced anything. It's just rant and lies that continue to occur. The property owners are at an age of retirement. Some of them are 70, some of them are 80 or whatever. They have supported and sent money for the properties, the upkeep. The property 505, that's right next to 503, and you probably have pictures of that. In due diligence, the family has put a new roof on the property, and that can clearly be seen. And all of the renovations that have already been done, the property owners paid for them. As far as 509, the barriers were reinforced about 3 or 4 years ago. Given the fact, I want to state that no one currently is living in the properties right now. And amongst Minden, there was a scan of Minden, we have a lot of older properties. America is 250 years old, Minden is 190 years old. So we have properties that are older in all the different districts within Minden, Louisiana. The family has come together as usual, and they would like, as I stated last month, they would like to rehab all of the properties. All of these properties can be rehabbed. Contractors have been contacted. Contractors have been on site. Estimates are here for you all's review as to what needs to happen on first basis, continuing second and third. All of these it takes money to rehab the properties. And the family has agreed to do this. This is heir property that has been passed down from generation to generation. And the properties were purchased legally, not at a sheriff's sale, not at anything else. These were legally passed down. None of the roofs that you look at, none of the roofs are falling in. They haven't caved in like some of the other properties in Minden, Louisiana. The walls, the framing of the buildings, all walls are intact. They have not caved in. So all of the contractors I spoke with, these buildings can be rehabbed. Now, for the last 6 months, owners have come before the council. A few, some of them did not come. But the ones that came, they were given, and they only had one property, 180 days to situate their property and make a decision as to what they wanted to do with the properties, okay? I was on South Street, all three of mine at one time was flagged. And I want to point out that none of these properties, as of 2026, April 2026, none of these properties was flagged for an ordinance violation until April 2026, when a letter came out trying to condemn the properties. Now, if something was desperately wrong since 1950s, why wasn't these properties flagged to say, okay, your roof is in violation, this is in violation, you need to fix it, or whatever? Nothing like that has happened. A person came before you all stating that he's been working with the mayor in the past and the council person in the past, and they've done this and they've done that, but they didn't contact the owners. I have never gotten any kind of response from the past mayors or the past council members concerning these properties. So anybody can come up and state anything they want to that sounds good, so their point will come across as believable.
Ms. Dozier, you had made mention that you have some documents?
Yes.
Are those
And if Ashley
something
will
you
step
would?
forward,
Okay.
I will pass.
Tyler? Oh, Mr. Cooley's gonna get them.
I definitely do.
Okay.
These are the estimates.
Are either one of these a signed contract with a contractor?
Well, we'll pass it.
The only copy?
It's like 4 or 5 different pages in that with different contractors.
Okay, we'll look at it.
All right, and to answer your question, these are estimates. Legally, you don't go into a binding contract until everything is sound and settled. So I'm coming before the council today to find out how many days we have to rehab before any contracts legally are signed. But what has been done, the estimates have been presented, and the first steps as far as to rehab the foundations and to rehab the roofs on 2 of the properties, you see that before you. And like the property that has been lied about, 505, that property has a new roof on it, was put, not old materials, entirely new roof was put. So in good faith effort, you can see the effort that the families have started. And it just didn't start yesterday. But like I stated, some of the owners are out of town. They're in their 70s. They want to feel like they have a place to come home to if they choose to
Mr.
come
Cooley,
home
when
to
were
the
these photos
estate.
taken?
A few weeks ago.
When was the new roof put on?
The new roof was put on, was completely repaired about 10 years ago. 10 or 11 years ago, the roof was put on it. We have had renters.
A new roof was put on it? Complete?
Exactly. From the front to the back. 505.
Okay.
505. And for someone to even think about like destroying the properties, and you see a solid roof on one of the houses. And other properties, the whole roofs are gone, totally gone, that you can see the sky. The walls are totally gone. But Minden is an older city, and it takes funds to rehab older buildings and new buildings. So I'm coming before you, providing estimates, providing the rationale that it means something to the families that have ownership in these properties. And they are willing to work expediently to rehab the properties.
You have before you item number 13, condemned property, 505 South Street, District B, the Frank Gardner estate. You've heard comments from a representative of that estate. What's the wishes of the council on this?
Before I vote, Ms. Dozier, we talked about this previously. I wasn't even in office for a month, I think. I don't know if you remember.
Oh, I definitely remember.
Okay, but at that point in time, we were talking about the trash that was on the property, right? And you were
The
wanting
what?
the trash that was on the property.
Yes, I called you out there,
Right.
Carlton. I
And-
called you
yes,
out
ma'am.
there to
And
the property.
do you remember the conversation that we had about the property, at what we ended with?
I remember the conversation that I talked about. It might be different from yours, but
I remember vividly saying that, you know, one of my biggest things is to clean up the neighborhoods.
exactly.
And I told you at that point that, you know, at some point you're gonna need to do something with the properties. And that was, what, 3.5 years ago? And from what I see, nothing has been done to the properties.
Well, have you looked at the pictures? Have you not seen?
I ride by the property all the time. I'm in that neighborhood at least 5 times a week.
So these estimates are just for labor, and it says the materials would be provided by the customer. Have you priced materials?
We price the materials, some of the materials, and like I stated, when this is settled, everything will be moving forward. I'm meeting personally, myself, with a contractor on Wednesday morning. We are ready to sign contracts and get the bottom line going. As far as I would like to respond to the trash on the properties, I have police reports that if you want to review them, just like I called Carlton Miles out there to the properties when we discovered that people were dumping on the properties. It's not the owners doing that.
I never said it was you.
I'm just stating, it's not the owners. Police came out, took the pictures. The police reports are here. It's multiple times. And before you can mow a yard or whatever, you got to pick up the beer bottles. You got to, recently, tires and carpet pads was just all over the property. So, improvement, trees have been cut down on the property at 511 and 505 South Street. The hedges that existed for over 20 years, they were about 6, 7 feet, they have been cut down because this is when people that don't want to do the right thing, they would come around the hedges and dump. It's a large property. The land is large. So they would go around the hedges and dump. So we cleared that, so it's open. So people will see. And some of the neighbors have took pictures of trucks coming in, dumping trash on the property, and then a day or two later, the same properties on South Street are featured on Facebook, talking about the waste, and look at this and look at that, or whatever. Someone has trespassed it and come on the property and filmed all of this trash and debris, and then they go to Facebook and bash the owners. This has happened so many times, and it continues as of today.
I have a quick question.
Uh-huh.
Have you seen this inspection report?
Yes.
City inspector?
Yes.
So he's saying all these things need to be remedied,
Uh,
correct? But on your quotes, we're just looking at a few things, like
The floor.
flooring, you know, two-bys, things like that. We're not talking about plumbing, we're not talking about electrical and all those things, you know, so I guess in my mind, I have a question. The question's going to, you know, you're talking probably $50,000-$60,000
Exactly.
each house.
Exactly. But I can't say that, but it's gonna take some money.
So
And
you don't have any quotes for all those types of things?
we, given the fact that this is just the next month, we start like building a house, you start from the ground up. So we got the quotes on the foundation and the roofing. Now, as far as the electrical work and those other items that you see, they will be taken care of, but we have to start from ground up.
But ma'am, this is not just started. It's just that the consequences are about to be real. And it sounds like that the family has just gotten into motion because the consequences are now real.
100%.
Oh, yes, no, I disagree on that. Like I said, in good faith,
To answer his question.
uh-huh.
Would you have invoices where you've been paying to have this stuff done, remodeling done, things like that?
I can provide invoices that we've done different things to the home, and like I restated, the roofing, one of the homes have been reinforced, and granted the fact, like I stated, we're not the only family that have older properties. Some of you all have rental properties or whatever that need repair. But the concern is, now, if we had people living in them, which we had up until like 2015, 2016, and 2017.
So nobody's been living there since 2017?
Correct. So as far as the electric, and I talked to the mayor about this, it's not illegal to have a home without an occupant inside the house. There are plenty of homes in Minden that don't have people staying in their homes.
That is correct, but if the condition of this home is just deplorable. I agree that 505 is better than 509, I think, and 511.
And 509 had various
509 and 511, they're way too far gone.
Well, and to say that 505 has a new roof is misleading because that's 10 years old if we're going off what you said. And so, which is, we can't confirm that. And so it's not a new roof.
Well, it's a new roof that was placed on the home. That's what I said. It wasn't a repair. It was a new roof that was placed on the home. And I am here to be truthful. I am here to be truthful.
As a matter of order, the subject at hand is 505 at the moment, so let's try to stay with it. If there are any more questions for Ms. Dozier, I'm sure she would entertain those, or I would seek a motion whenever y'all ready.
And may I have one last thing
Real
to say
quick.
about the properties? As far as the owners, I'm here representing them.
Sure.
And the only thing else I can say, like I stated before, we are here to rehab the properties. In the past 6 months, other owners have been given 180 days, and the buildings are totally almost gone.
I get that, Ms. Dozier, but when I tried to give you time last month, you told me you didn't want what I gave the other property owners. Those words came out of your mouth, and after that, Mr. Pendergrass, Councilman Pendergrass, he motioned to table, and he also said that we won't be as graceful next month.
I didn't hear that, and it's not in the minutes. Now, why would you make a motion
It absolutely is in the minutes.
for 180 days, and then you're gonna retract that? I needed more time.
That's
and
not what happened. That's not what happened.
I needed more time, and I talked to the mayor. I met with the mayor, with the council person that represents District B, where all the houses sit, before this meeting. And I met with him 2 years ago concerning this
He
meeting.
asked us to table it, to give you time, and we
Which I
did.
was against.
And that's exactly what I came back with. Contractors have been out, looked at the property, stating what needs to be addressed first. Is that not unreasonable? The roofing and the foundation. Some of the roofing needs to be repaired, and the foundation. But when owners stand before you all, and the owners own the property, and it is so slight, the properties are valued almost $70,000. And there's an issue that the owners want to repair their own properties, and you can watch the progress if they're given the chance to rehab the properties. Is there an issue with something like, is that unreasonable?
It's unreasonable for us to believe that the intent is to rehab these properties when they have been left vacant for almost 10 years. That would be unreasonable on our behalf, and we have to act in the best interest of the city and all the citizens of the city. And so the neighbors of these properties, that is a factor. And so I'm going to go ahead and make a motion. I move to authorize Mayor Cox to issue an order declaring the property condemned and further order the demolition of any structures located thereon and the cleaning of the lot within 60 days of this date.
Second.
I have a motion from Councilman Pendergrass and a second from Councilman Miles. Any discussion? There is none. Let's vote. Can you hit that okay button? All right, and the motion passed. Next, we have item number 14, condemned property, 509 South Street, District B, Chandra Dozier. And you're here representing that property. Is there anything you'd like to add
Yes.
pertaining to this one? Okay.
Is there anything I'd like to say?
Sure.
Like I said at the beginning, hopefully I'm standing before you all for justice, and that we will be treated fairly like the other property owners that have just come before you within 6 months, this past 6 months. And they were given 180 days for their properties, and some of their properties have totally fallen in. All of the properties that I presented, and as you can see, the roofs are still intact. It's not on the ground. The walls are still intact. They have not caved in, like a lot of properties that are still standing in Minden. So when the owners are coming to say they're willing to spend the money and work within a certain time frame, and as one of the persons has stated, they offered a deal for 180 days. I had just gotten all this information recently. I just needed time to contact licensed contractors, talk to them, go out to the properties, and the mayor suggested that I come back And that's what I did.
That lady had 2 surgeries, and we were giving her an opportunity to recover from her surgeries.
That is
And
correct.
so,
Y'all
Talking
heard-
about within the last 6 months. I'm just asking for fairness. What is wrong if the owners are coming together, gonna spend their own money to repair the valuable properties that probably don't mean anything to you all, that mean something to us? There's a lot of centennial homes that have been rehabbed.
as I stated to you last time, if they meant this much to you, they've been vacant for 9 years without anything being done.
That is untrue. That is untrue.
You just said they were vacant for 9 years.
Correct. Vacant meaning no one stayed there. I didn't say that the houses have nothing has been done to them. And there's not anything against the law to say that the properties have to be, someone has to live in the properties.
The homes are not livable at this point because they have not been tended to. We can see it on the pictures.
We're just asking for the 180 days like the other people had to rehab their homes or decide what they want to do with them.
That's a different situation. It's apples and oranges.
Okay, y'all heard from the
I'm going to
property
move to
owner.
authorize Mayor Cox to issue an order declaring the property condemned, further order the demolition of any structures located thereon and the cleaning of the lot within 30 days of this date.
We have a motion from Councilman Pendergrass,
Second.
second from Councilman Miles. Any discussion on this? And there being none, let's vote. And that passed unanimously. Next, we have item number 15, condemned property 511 South Street, District B, Chandra Dozier. And you're here, and if you'd like to submit anything else, you feel welcome to do so.
I need to take a seat.
Okay.
I
The
move to
property's
authorize
owner-
Mayor Cox to issue an order declaring the property condemned and further order the demolition of any structures located thereon and the cleaning of the lot within 30 days of this date.
Second.
We have a motion from Councilman Pendergrass and a second from Councilman Miles. Any discussion on this? There being none, let's vote. And that motion passed. Next, we have item number 16, the budget financial report for April 2026. Our city clerk, Mulaney Langford, Slack.
Good afternoon, everyone. I hope y'all are doing well. I did provide a copy of the April 2026 budget report for everyone's review. In March of 2026, sales tax collections excluding the TIF districts totaled $773,411 compared to $860,158 in March of 2025. So this did reflect a 10.08% decrease. The decrease was due to equipment sales and rentals. And then delinquent payments for the city of Minden amounted to $22,383. And as Mayor mentioned earlier, we are wrapping up the budget, and so within the next short time period, y'all will start receiving those, and we'll start scheduling the budget meetings.
Okay, are there any questions for the city clerk?
Thank you, Mulaney.
Okay, thank you. Next, we have item number 17, the fire report for May 2026, Assistant Fire Chief Ronnie Shreen.
Mayor, Council, for the month of May, Minden Fire Department responded to 2 structure fires, 2 vehicle fires, 7 miscellaneous fires, 2 public service calls, 5 rescue calls, 1 hazmat-related call, 6 false alarms, 5 alarms, and 1 water rescue for a total of 31 calls. Also, the PIL evaluator will be here on September 14th for our field site, and last week they traveled down to Holden, Louisiana, to U.S. Fire Apparatus to complete the pre-con meeting for the new fire engine. and waiting on them to send a new drawing for us to sign off on after a couple of changes, and that will go into production. We'll keep everybody up to date.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions for the Assistant Fire Chief? Okay, thank you, sir. You have before you item 18, the police report for April 2026. Are there any questions about the police report? If there are none, I'd entertain a motion that we accept it.
I move to accept the police report for the month of April 26.
Have a motion from Councilman Roy.
Second.
Second from Councilwoman Mitchell. Any questions? There being none, let's vote. And that motion passed unanimously. Next, we have our police chief with anything you'd like to submit.
So for the month of May, we had a total of 1,252 citations issued. We had 48 MVAs, or motor vehicle accidents. We had 2,069 calls for services, 51 disturbances, and 12 animal calls. Would also like to thank our men and women for, we had a quick response the other night. As you know, we had a shooting incident in Minden, and inside of 10 hours, our officers worked with very limited information, but was able, through LPRs and Webster Parish Sheriff's Office and other agencies helping to apprehend the suspect in the shooting incident. I also like to say that we got our new sound meters in. That'll be aiding in our new sound ordinance that we have, or noise ordinance here in the city. So we have those sound meters. We're now implementing those throughout the city. And I also like to congratulate our new officer, Heather Butcher, for coming on board. And I was talking to her husband next to her other, and I said, it's a little different sitting out there. Councilman Butcher is out there with Shreveport, so we're glad to have them here and glad to have her on board. That's it.
Okay, thank you, Chief. Are there any questions for our police chief? Okay, there are none. Next, we have item 19, which was added at the beginning of the agenda. We'll have to vote on this one manually due to the fact it wasn't originally on there, but it's item number 19, which is a cooperative endeavor agreement between the City of Minden and Friends of Minden Main Street. This will allow the city to be able to work legally with the Friends of Minden Main Street for the different events that they put on. What's the wishes of the council on this?
I move to authorize Mayor Cox to enter into a cooperative endeavor agreement between the City of Minden and Friends of Minden Main Street.
Second.
Have a motion from Councilman Pendergrass, a second from Councilman Roy. Any questions or discussion on this? Okay, there's none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition, no. I believe that passed unanimously. At this time, I would open the floor to any announcements from the audience, and I would ask that you limit your comments to 3 minutes. Michael Walker, I know you've got Juneteenth coming up.
I was gonna take care of that, but.
Oh, you're gonna take care of that? Okay. And that's on June 19th this year.
is.
From 5 to 8 or 9? 5 to 9. Well, I don't mean to steal your thunder, Councilman Miles. Since there are no announcements, I'll open the time up to the council. Councilman Miles, we'll start with you.
To the public, it is not our intent to target anybody. But at the end of the day, we have we have to uphold certain rules and certain standards. I mean, I know what went on today wasn't easy for anybody, maybe even to watch, you know, but I just want you guys to know that we're not targeting anybody, we're not going after anybody, but Minden deserves to look nice. I mean, I don't want anyone to feel like that Minden is what it is. Minden can be better. I firmly believe in everything that I do that I can get better, you can get better, we can get better as a whole. And when I ran for this spot, that was my intent from day one, is to make everything better inside of our city limits. and I will do whatever I have to do to make sure that that happens to the best of my ability. Thank you, and I love you all.
Okay. Councilman Thomas?
Well, I'd just like to ditto what Buddy just said. And I'd like to also say to Ms. Dozier and Mr. Timms, I just hope somewhere down the road you two can come together and discuss your differences, because that's the only way we can move forward. But to what happened here today, like Buddy was saying, it was something that had to happen. And we're just gonna move forward from this and pray that we go together. Thank you.
Councilwoman Mitchell? No. Councilman Roy?
Mayor, I would just like to, again, apologize for missing last month. My wife had some surgery, and I need to be there with her, and I apologize for missing that. Couple things about the animal shelter. We have some new catch pens that we ordered. They're labeled with the City of Minden. Animal Control is out and about. Their trucks have been decaled through the police department. So hopefully you've seen those out and about. I know that we have strays. We're working diligently trying to get those strays. You know, I don't know that we'll ever solve that problem, but I know we're doing as much as we possibly can. In some of these endeavors that have been tough, we've reached out to Wildlife and Fisheries for some help and some remedies outside the box to safely catch these animals and get them adopted and things like that. So if I can be of any assistance, please don't hesitate to reach out at any point in time. And again, thank you for your patience with this. And then everybody that got on board with the pet mayor election, we had a very successful year again. Thank you who all nominated pets, who sponsored, who took time to vote and all. It goes to such a worthy cause, and I really do appreciate it.
Councilman Pendergrass?
Yeah, I just want to remind everybody, June 11th through the 13th, Minden will celebrate America's 250th birthday and Minden's 190th birthday. And there will be a lot of great activities. This will be something like Minden's never seen before. And so I hope everybody will come out and participate in that. And anything special I need to announce about that? Okay, just come and have a great time. Sponsor all the things if you wish to do so. So it should be a great time.
Yeah, I followed the city Facebook page for more information on that 250, 190 celebration. It is going to be a big deal. I'd like to see a lot of participation. I would like for Ashley, my assistant, to stand up. Ashley and I had a conversation with Councilman Roy a few weeks ago about the animal fundraiser efforts, and Ashley really heads that up. Sarah overall helped with that also. But when Councilman Roy and I were discussing with Ashley about our goals, she was discouraged at the time, you remember, because she hadn't, the effort hadn't raised much money. And I said, if you finish this deal out with $10,000, I'll be tickled to death. And she texted me at 1:55 on Friday night. Now, I did not answer that text. I got it the next morning and let me know that we raised $19,515 for the Minden Animal Shelter. Now, what that tells us, a lot of people in the city love animals, and that's great. A lot of people support the efforts. A lot of people are competitive. But it also tells you that Ashley did a good job on this project. So I want to thank her for her, I won't say fur, F-U-R, for her hard work, but congratulations also to our new pet mayors, Scout Lee, our chief of police, Ridge, and our fur chief, and I'm not just country, that's the way it's spelled, fur chief, Raven Pearl. And good job to our old former mayor, Maverick, who did a good job in his 2-year reign. So with that being said, I would adjourn this meeting. Thank y'all.
Well,
go ahead.
Congratulations, Victoria.